I had been dating Mary for 2 months when she told me her secret, a secret that felt more like a confession. We had already traded the L word, a commitment that bound us together, or so I thought. Her words, soft and urgent, echoed in my mind, but her actions told a different story. A story of fleeting moments and hurried departures.
"I love you," she had whispered, staring at my chest, as if searching for a hidden truth. "I want to spend every night with you, but those nights never came. Mary always left, her departures shrouded in a strange urgency, leaving me alone with my doubts and unanswered questions."
I couldn't say it back, not with the truth still lingering in the air between us. Mary never stayed the night. After our moments together, she would become a different woman, drowsy, bright, then suddenly gripped by an inexplicable panic. It was as if a switch had been flipped, transforming her into someone I didn't recognize.
"Mary, come back," I pleaded, my voice laced with desperation. "Stay with me." But my words seemed to fall on deaf ears. She'd kiss me, quick and trembling, a fleeting moment of intimacy before she vanished into the night, leaving me with a gnawing sense of unease. "No, I can't. I have to go home. I told you. I'm sorry," she'd say, her voice a mere whisper filled with remorse. But her apologies did little to quell the growing suspicion in my mind. What was she hiding? What darkness lurked behind her jade-colored eyes? Why, I'd ask, my voice tinged with a suspicion fueled by loneliness. "Do you have someone else? A husband?" The thought gnawed at me, a constant reminder of my own insecurities and the possibility that I was nothing more than a fleeting distraction in her life. "No," she'd say, her nails digging into my arm, a desperate plea for belief. "Farid, please believe me. I turn into marble when I fall asleep." The words hung in the air, absurd and unbelievable. Yet her eyes held a truth that sent a chill down my spine. I laughed, a nervous, loving sound that did little to mask my disbelief. "Okay, Mary, whatever." But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted, a nagging feeling that there was more to her story than she was letting on. She went on anyway. Her voice slow and panicked, as if compelled to confess. "I'm serious, actual stone. It started after an ex tried to—" She stopped, swallowed the painful memory. The air thickened with unspoken trauma, a history of violence that haunted her every move. "He tried to assault me. I woke and I was..." She told me about Barry, who'd watched the film and been consumed by it, his mind unable to reconcile the image of her turning into stone. He'd killed himself, she'd confessed, her fingers trembling in my hair. "He couldn't handle seeing me turn into marble," she whispered. "It wasn't my fault." I felt my anger flare, a protective instinct ignited by the thought of someone daring to judge her, to drive her to this point of despair. I drew her close, determined to shield her from the world's cruelty. I kissed tears off her face, a tender gesture meant to reassure her that she wasn't alone, that I would stand by her side no matter what. "Listen," I told her, my voice firm and unwavering. "I don't care. You could turn into a frog when you slept, and I'd still love you." Her face softened, as if my words had released a tension she had been holding on to for years. "Oh, Farid," she sighed, her voice filled with a mixture of relief and disbelief. "You never said it before."
Well then, I love you, Mary. The words felt clumsy and inadequate, but they were true. I loved her, despite the marble, despite the fear, despite the unknown. She sobbed into my shoulder, a release of years of pent-up fear and loneliness. She clung to me, her body trembling, as if afraid that I would disappear if she let go. And finally, that night, she didn't leave. The confession hung between us like a fragile promise, a delicate thread connecting two souls in the face of the impossible. When it cleared, we made love with a kind of abandon, a desperate attempt to forget the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. She gave herself to me as if she were burning up, consumed by a fire that only I could extinguish. We fell asleep tangled, a fragile embrace against the encroaching night. The room was small, the night tightly wrapped outside the blinds, a cocoon of intimacy and dread. I remember the warmth of her shoulder, the scent of her hair lavender and something mineral, metallic, a note I filed away without understanding, a premonition of the horror to come. I woke with a cold, so sharp it felt like a hand had been placed on my ribs, a chilling premonition of the horror that awaited me. Something hard and unyielding pressed against my side and my throat, trapping me in a waking nightmare. My right arm and leg were trapped under a weight that refused to give, a stone-cold embrace that suffocated the air from my lungs. I fumbled a hand free, found the lamp switch, and the room was suddenly a slice of blinding white, revealing the impossible truth. There was a statue on the bed beside me, a grotesque parody of the woman I loved. White marble, veined with jade, and a streak of black ran through the stone like the colors of her eyes and hair, a haunting echo of her beauty. The face was turned toward me, lips parted in a mute scream, a silent testament to the horror she must have felt. The marble texture glinted under the bedside light, every groove precise and obscene for something that had moments ago been breath and heat. Panic uncoiled within me, a venomous serpent constricting my chest. I clawed at my shoulder, at the marble limb intertwined with mine, desperate to break free from this stone-cold embrace. At the sound I made, the marble seemed to shiver, a subtle tremor that sent a jolt of terror through my veins. A flush of color, faint and desperate, crept from the marble forehead down into the cheek, a horrifying parody of life returning. The jade streak. In the stone, brightened as if blood were a paint, reawakening, a macabre masterpiece of horror and despair. "Mary!" I shouted, my voice a strangled cry lost in the suffocating silence of the room. I pushed and dragged until, with a sound like an animal's last exhale, the statue toppled. There was a cracking, a ringing like glass in a cathedral, and something inside me broke with it. She hit the floor. For a second, she was whole. Then a long, horrible fracture split the marble torso, shattering her into pieces. Two sections slid apart cleanly, leaving the head and part of a shoulder of real warm skin, a cruel reminder of what I had lost. The rest was rubble. White chunks, jagged and monstrous,
dust spitting into the air, a graveyard of shattered dreams and broken promises.
Her face, the human part, looked up at me, eyes wide and lubricated with living light, and I saw ache there, pure and thin, and something like accusation, a silent condemnation of my actions.
Her mouth opened, and a sound left it that was not quite a cry, not quite a name, a haunting echo of a life fading away. I don't remember moving as much as the room remembered the space I'd occupied, a ghost haunting the scene of my own making. I was pressed against the bedpost, knees under me, hands caked with powder in the cold damp of stone, a prisoner of my own fear.
Help came later. Sirens, neighbors, hands, and bright questions. But they were for a time after. A blur, softening the raw center of my guilt and despair. The memory that hardened and refused to ebb was the private detail. In the footage she'd shown me months earlier, the marble had always risen from her feet upward while she slept, gradually locking her body in place.
I had pulled away, a fatal act that shattered her both physically and metaphorically. Sometimes at night, I wake to cold pressing my ribs, to a phantom weight where a limb once slept easy beside me, a constant reminder of my irreversible mistake.